No, I don't know where he got the money.
For the third time, $100 bills meant for motion pictures are found at a business in our viewing area. But this time, police have made some arrests.
One person is dead and 2 are injured after an officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. Why police say the officer had no choice but to shoot.
They're using social media to solve crimes.
Just within a matter of minutes, you'll not have just one response, you'll have multiple responses.
How an Eastern Kentucky Police Department is using Facebook to do more than stay connected.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. The third time seems to be the charm. For the third time in the last few months, police say they're seeing $100 bills marked for motion picture use only pop up.
Richmond police say someone tried to use the bills Friday at the Sonic Big Hill Avenue, but this time police were able to make an arrest in the case. 30-year-old Rodney Hendricks is charged with criminal possession of a forged instrument. Our Victor Puente is talking to Hendricks in our top story at 5:30.
The bills confiscated last week might look familiar to our viewers. Richmond police say they had the same serial number as bills that were passed in Scott and Montgomery counties. These are bills from those previous stories. Richmond police say identical ones were used at 2 businesses here in Madison County. They arrested 30-year-old Rodney Hendricks at the Sonic on Big Hill Avenue Friday night. They say he tried to use one of the bills to buy 2 milkshakes. Then on Saturday, they were called to the Ready Mart on 2nd Street for a group of 3 people. One of them talked to us from jail after his arrest.
Some dude come outside beside him and said, "Run." You know what I mean? That's all I know. And the cops rolled up and they said something about some counterfeit money.
Richmond police say Joshua's brother, Aaron Rowley, used one of the motion picture bills at the gas station. They also say they found more than 70 pills on him. Joshua says he was watching his brother's arrest, and the next thing he knew, he was also on his way to jail.
I was on Xanax and delirious, man, and then I guess I wasn't sitting still, so he come back over, slapped cuffs on me, stuck me in the cop car, told me I was under arrest for possession of heroin and tampering physical evidence.
Police arrested a 3rd person at the store, Amber Whittemore, on drug charges. The bills are identical to ones spent at 4 different Georgetown businesses last year and at a Montgomery County subway in January. Rowley says he and his brother haven't left Madison County, and he does remember his brother showing him a $100 bill, but he says he thought it was legitimate.
I don't know nothing about no Paramount Pictures money or what the hell ever. I don't know nothing about that.
Richmond police are warning businesses to be on the lookout for these bills and to be extra vigilant when it comes to large currency, because it's possible there may be more of them in the county. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Montgomery County Sheriff told us he plans on contacting Richmond police to see if there is any connection to their cases.
Kentucky State Police are investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. It happened about noon today at a McDonald's in Logan County. None of the Russellville police officers were injured, but the suspect was killed, an innocent bystander caught in the crossfire. Jennifer Palumbo's at the live desk with the latest on how it all happened. Jennifer?
Sam, because the shooting involved the Russellville Police Department, the state police post in Bowling Green is now handling the investigation. The preliminary investigation shows a man shot a woman at the McDonald's on North Main Street, then took off down the street. That's when Russellville police officers say they spotted the suspect and shots were fired near the super wash. The suspect was shot and killed. His name has not been released. The woman who was shot was able to drive across the street to get help. She's at the medical center in Bowling Green. Her name and condition have not been released. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
And a man inside the Russellville donut shop was also hit by gunfire. He was flown to a Nashville hospital where his condition has not been released.
State police say one person is dead after a crash in northern Kentucky. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Owen County. Troopers say a 16-year-old girl was driving on Kentucky 355 south of Owenton last night when her vehicle went off the road and flipped several times. 2 passengers, another 16-year-old girl and an 18-year-old who is Trevor Smith, were thrown from the vehicle. The 16-year-old passenger was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was taken to the hospital in Owenton, and Smith was flown to UK Hospital. There's no word on their conditions tonight. Troopers say neither of the passengers were wearing seat belts. In Boyle County, state police have tracked down an inmate who didn't return from work release. Aaron Ray Wells was at the Boyle County Detention Center on charges out of Kenton County. Troopers found him this afternoon and brought him back to Boyle County. He now faces escape and contempt of court charges. Jail officials did not say where they found him. And in Laurel County, a man faces charges after police found him at the scene of a house fire. London police say 32-year-old Frank No went into a vacant house on Myers Baker Road this morning. No told police he did not have permission to be in the home. He said he used his lighter to start a fire in a wooden drawer to, quote, have a light. No fell asleep, woke up to a fire this afternoon. Police found No outside of the home. Police say he already had a warrant out for his arrest.
Firefighters are still investigating what caused a fire that destroyed a southeastern Kentucky family's home. The family says they lost everything during the fire earlier this month, but fortunately no one was hurt. Firefighters are crediting an 11-year-old boy with saving the family. On March 5th, Christopher Blatton woke up about 9 a.m. and smelled smoke. He woke up his parents and they realized the house was on fire.
Kitchen was gone. My front porch was gone. The bathroom was almost gone, and it was on to another bedroom.
The family says they were able to make it out of their home through a window because the doorknobs were too hot to touch. Firefighters say there were no smoke detectors inside the house.
Well, that family was really lucky there. Well, a perfect spring-like day here. Hopefully you got outside and were able to enjoy some of it.
That's because we're tracking some colder air moving in tonight, and temperatures are going to drop the rest of this week. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at that forecast. Pretty day, though, today.
Oh, it's fantastic out there, guys. A lot of sunshine, very warm temperatures. Some of us in the low 80s out there, and I bet a lot of car thermometers said that as well today. Some of the official reporting stations, too. We're looking outside, actually, over across the way toward Cabela's. A lot of folks over there today. It's not open yet, not to the general public, but you can see quite a few folks there are out there for one of those sneak peek days. Some special folks out there are actual members. 77 degrees right now in Lexington. Look at it, feels like temperature. This is the first time that I think I can remember so far this year that we have an upward motion there to the feels like temperature. Instead of talking about a wind chill, it feels like 78. That means you have a little bit of a heat index showing up. Right now, temperatures elsewhere across Kentucky, all of us running in mid and upper 70s, and those low and mid 80s showing up out to our west. You can see them there in western sections of Kentucky. Defender radar network remains on the quiet side, at least for now. There's a batch of showers that will be on the move tonight. And as we look ahead to that, here's what we're talking about with some of those headlines. Cold front drops in on us, bringing those showers. Then the cooling trend starts to take shape, and then flake potential. That's how cool we're going. Flake potential by the time we get into the weekend. Sam, I know you don't want to talk about it, but we've certainly got that chance coming at us. And I'll break it down a little bit better coming up.
Thank you, Jim. A group of Kentuckians is heading south to lend a helping hand. About 30 Kentucky Baptists will leave Thursday for Farmerville, Louisiana to help flood victims clean up. A lake in north central Louisiana crested nearly 9 feet above normal last Friday, flooding some nearby businesses and homes. About 5,000 homes were damaged and 4 people were killed. The group from Kentucky will be back on March 26th.
An Eastern Kentucky Police Department is using Facebook to help solve crimes. Pikeville police say they've been using the Pikeville Public Safety Facebook page when they need help identifying a person or a suspect. This past weekend, police say they were able to identify 2 men thanks to social media.
Just within a matter of minutes, you'll not have just one response, you'll have multiple responses. And usually within a couple of hours, or if not a couple of days, you will have identified the person or the vehicle.
Pikeville police say they are also using social media to learn information about possible suspects.
There's no doubt that Facebook is a very popular way to meet people and communicate, but be aware that some contacts through Facebook can be after your money. They're a scam. Our good question tonight is from Nancy. She says someone called her and offered her $500,000 on Facebook. It was a Facebook message, and a woman asked to be her friend to start off. The Better Business Bureau here in Lexington calls this a growing scam. Heather Clary says the BBB hears nearly every day from callers who received a friend request on Facebook, as in this viewer's experience, or worse, a private inbox message in their Facebook account from someone who appears to be someone they know or a current Facebook friend. Now, in the latter case, the friend has had their Facebook account hacked, and the con artist is contacting everyone on their friend list to try and pull off this scam. Now, this way, the targeted victim might be more likely to fall for it because they believe the message is coming from someone they actually know when they don't. One common scenario, the scammer or friend telling you that he or she won money from Facebook and saw your name on the list too. And then the friend helpfully provides you with emails, web links, or phone numbers to start the process of getting your prize or grant. And that's where the scam part comes in. The victim is asked for a fee or hundreds or even thousands of dollars to cover insurance, delivery, or taxes. This is they want you to wire the money via MoneyGram or pay by phone with a reloadable cash card. Of course, there's no prize money and the victim's fees are long gone. It is all a scam. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@WKYT.com.
Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, a proposal to protect the rights of crime victims moves on to the State House. What it means for victims if the proposal is approved.
I'm Bill Bryant. 4 new lawmakers were sworn into office today in Frankfort, and candidates for president wait for the primary election returns in several states to roll in tonight. The bottom line is on the way.
I'm Phil Pendleton in Wayne County at 6 o'clock. Disturbing surveillance video released to us by the Wayne County Sheriff involving a deputy jailer's actions on a Wayne County inmate.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
Get your 2016 Dollywood Season Pass now and enjoy a full year of unlimited fun for the whole family. There's great entertainment for everyone, including Lightning Rod, the fastest wood coaster in the world. The return of Mother Africa to Festival of Nations, 2 new summer family shows, and new holiday experiences. Buy your pass now at Dollywood.com.
The Dollywood Season Pass low price offer extended until March 26th. Hurry, it ends soon.
What do these women have in common? They are the staff of Ageless Medical Weight Loss. They've lost a combined 1,300 pounds. The team at Ageless will understand your struggles and celebrate your victories. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
Chevy.
I'm going with Ram.
Definitely Ford.
The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing.
They're all Chevy.
It's Truck Month. Get a total value of $7,500 on this Silverado All-Star with a 5.3-liter V8. Plus, find your tag and get $1,000 cash allowance on select Silverado models in stock. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Olay Regenerist renews from within, plumping surface cells for a dramatic transformation without the need for fillers. Your concert team might show your age. Your skin never will. Olay Regenerist. Olay, ageless. And try Regenerist Microsculpting Eye Swirl. It instantly hydrates to plump and lift.
Shouldn't you have a checking account that makes your life easier? Introducing Easy Checking from Republic Bank. Relax with no minimum balance or monthly maintenance fee. Use our free mobile app to easily send money with Mobile Pop Money. You can even log into our app with a scan of your fingerprint or eye using iPrint ID. Easy checking for your hard-earned money. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
Where can you satisfy your craving for a delicious 100% Alaskan cod meal? Right here at Long John Silver's. Enjoy our tasty 2-piece hand-battered Alaskan cod basket, hand-dipped in our classic batter, now for just $5.99. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
4 new members of the State House were sworn into office this morning.
And voters in 4 states are heading to the polls today. Bill Bryant has details on this Super Tuesday in the bottom line.
Good evening. The Kentucky House got 4 new members this afternoon when newly elected state representatives were sworn into office. The State Board of Elections had certified their eligibility this morning. By carrying 3 of the 4 special elections a week ago today, Democrats added to their majority and now hold a 53-47 vote edge in the House. That gives them an opportunity to pass their version of a House budget. But Republicans have also unveiled a proposed spending plan today that removes some cuts cuts that Governor Bevin is seeking. Democratic Speaker Greg Stumbo wants higher education cuts removed from the budget. The Republican plan positions the state to potentially get some federal assistance for Kentucky's troubled pension funds. When the votes come in tonight, Republican presidential candidates Marco Rubio and John Kasich are hoping they can still hold on to their hopes for the White House. Voters have been going to the polls in Rubio's home state of Florida and Ohio, where Kasich is governor. That's in addition to primaries in Missouri, Illinois, and North Carolina. Frontrunner Donald Trump is expected to do well today. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is hoping to move closer to the nomination by holding off rival Bernie Sanders, who got some momentum last week from a surprise win in Michigan. Washington-based Roll Call is out with its latest look at Senate races around the country. It places Kentucky in the safe Republican category. First-term GOP Senator Rand Paul is seeking re-election after dropping his bid for the White House. Most observers expect Lexington Mayor Jim Gray to emerge from the Democratic primary and face Paul in November. Former state Senator Charlie Berger being remembered for his 17 years of representing Harlan County and some other parts of southeastern Kentucky and Frankfort. Berger was a Democrat who also practiced law. Charlie Berger died in Lexington at the age of 80. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A proposal that would change Kentucky's constitution to guarantee rights for crime victims has cleared another hurdle.
A House committee approved the measure. The proposal would make sure crime victims are given timely notice of all proceedings involving their alleged offenders. It would also let victims make comments in any proceedings involving release, plea bargains, sentencing, and parole of the offenders. The proposal has already passed the state Senate. If it passes the House, it will be on the November ballot in Kentucky.
And the Kentucky House has approved placing a constitutional amendment on November's ballot involving a local option sales tax. The measure would give voters the option of temporarily raising sales taxes to pay for construction projects. Local governments can propose up to a 1% sales tax for a specified project, and the tax would expire when the project is finished. The measure now goes on to the state Senate.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
A lot of sunshine out there for us today with very warm temperatures showing up across the entire area. We're back in the mid and upper 70s and even a few of you in the low 80s. Let's get right to it and show you all of our cams across Kentucky. We've got quite a few thrown into the mix here from north to south and everywhere in between, all around. Out to the Mountain Parkway there in Campton. Things looking nice and quiet. To Corbin along I-75. And then you can see Jackson. Just blue skies off in the distance from there. Very common sight everywhere you go. And our Defender radar network remains on the quiet side as well. We did have some cloud cover exit the area a little bit earlier today, but that comes from the satellite, so different source of information. Tracking a system out there tonight. This is one that will impact us for us once we get into the overnight and early tomorrow morning. It's a front, and it's going to bring showers and even some thunderstorms possibly close to us. We might have a rumble of thunder off in the distance. I don't think we're going to have that much instability to have to deal with something like that. What we have, though, is an area of low pressure, warm front out ahead of it that's allowing that big surge in warmer temperatures here across Kentucky, which allowed us to get into the 70s and even off into the 80s in some cases. So you've got that same system sweeping through Des Moines right now, where a lot of folks are going to be heading over the next couple of days. So let's check and see what the forecast looks like there as we leave Lexington and off we go to Des Moines. Under the clouds and into the future we go for Thursday, Friday, and into your Saturday. A very similar, just a little bit cooler on Thursday, but very similar overall for them, as we'll see here as well. The only differences would be Saturday. A chance of showers will start to roll into our area then, but generally on the cool side if you are one of the fans that will be heading in that direction. Right now here in Lexington, 77 degrees, 78 in Jackson, pockets in between close to 80 degrees. You just look all around and you can see more of that warm stuff shifting even off toward the north. The storm system itself, textbook setup here. You've got the southerly flow out ahead of it, pushing temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Behind it, they're crashing, like in Des Moines. Again, they're 55 degrees with the rain and also that northerly flow. Hour by hour through the rest of the evening and overnight, there you see the arrival of the frontal boundary bringing us a few showers. Gets out of here rather quickly. By mid-morning, we're clearing things up again and our temperatures are down. But I'm not talking about a significant drop. We're right back in the low 60s, so still above average for this time of year. But we're going to get below average. It comes in that 7-day forecast. You'll see once we get toward the end of the week and end of the weekend, we are trending certainly a whole lot cooler. And then by Tuesday, guys, something I keep forgetting to point out because it's not as cool, we start to warm back up. We have another warm up next week with another dive coming. So it's just the pattern that we're in.
Steep dive, isn't it?
It's a steep dive. You're
Steep
right.
back up.
You're right.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. It looks like we've cleared the collision at Newtown and Sugar Maple, but traffic is still slow. Inbound Newtown Pike on the north side, it's impacting us just past the interstate all the way down past the circle into Sugar Maple because of that earlier collision that has since been cleared. Drive times this afternoon, if you're able to avoid Newtown Pike, you can expect a normal ride out to Georgetown across the 75. No problems right now. And it looks like to Nicholasville, we're still holding our own with a 14 to 15-minute ride. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. Brian Milam here today. March Madness in full effect.
You are right. The Cats leaving for Iowa today in preparation of the Stony Brook Seawolves. And one guy who the Cats have been seeing coming back to form, Derek Willis. He's hit some big shots down the stretch. Sports is next.
Over 68 million Americans leave the safety of our borders every year. When danger strikes, this team will help.
Your cell phone stopped transmitting signals 48 hours ago.
American college freshman went off the grid 2 days ago.
This isn't funny, Jack!
FBI, drop your weapon!
You're safe. No one is going to hurt you.
Your life is starting now.
Considering bankruptcy? Call Atkinson, Sims & Kermode. Start your bankruptcy for only $78 now. Dial 859, call ASK for your free consultation.
It's hard to imagine what it will become unless you have been there before. How does this plan become what I had dreamed of? You need the right people to take you from the plan to the place. Design, planning, and building, all under one roof. KBC, creating homes that enrich lives.
There's a lot to see at Nissan Now. Award-winning safety, reimagined design, and premium interiors. 5 exciting new models. This is Nissan Now.
Choose a $189 per month lease on the 2016 Nissan Altima or the 2016 Nissan Rogue. Get your new Nissan now. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
As consumers who pay our insurance premiums on time, we assume that our homeowners, auto, and business claims will be properly evaluated and paid in good faith by our own insurance companies. Yet, many times we find that's not the case. The reason is simple. Insurance companies are in business to make a profit. If you believe that your claim has been underpaid or denied, or if you'd just like us to review it before taking their final offer, call us or visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
What's the most awarded car company of the year? Ranking from top to bottom.
Luxury cars seem like they would be top awarded.
Better be some awards behind what you're paying for, right?
The final answer? Chevy, the most awarded car company 2 years in a row.
Wow, it's like a luxury car.
I was shocked. I mean, it's like, this is Chevy?
Current qualified GM lessees can get a sign and drive lease on this Chevy Cruze Limited for around $179 per month.
See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
We're the McCord family, and welcome to our show.
Sea lions, how about that?
That's our show. Now go enjoy yours.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Kentucky is a healthy team and going into the NCAA tournament with a head of steam. The Cats opened Thursday night against the Stony Brook Seawolves. Derek Willis gave Kentucky a big lift when he became a regular starter in January. He missed 3 games after turning his ankle, but since he's come back, Willis has continued to score, and he hit some clutch shots Saturday in the SEC championship.
I mean, I just want to win. I mean, whatever it does. I mean, that's where, like I said, just picking up the defense, and I feel like I can make shots when I'm open. So just coming up with rebounds and just all that, you know.
He's a difference maker. You know, last play we went to him with the free throws, but they denied him. So you know, we have a lot of trust in him. We know what he's capable of, and you know, he did a great job of helping the team out.
Now, Kentucky opened as a 13.5-point favorite over Stony Brook. It's now climbed to 14.5. The Seawolves know all about the UK backcourt of Ulis and Murray and the style the Cats want to play.
They definitely play faster than we do, so we have to try and dictate pace. But I think that we can run smart. We have to run smart with them because, you know, they can get out in transition and they can really blow teams away. So we have to play smart. We have to get into the big fella over there and, you know, see what happens.
They're really good. They pose a lot of different problems for us. Their guards are excellent. Obviously, they have lottery picks in the backcourt. So, you know, we got to figure some things out, and we got to be real smart in this game for sure.
Now, when the Cats open the NCAA tournament, we will have it for you right here about 9:40 Thursday night. Kentucky and Stony Brook will tip it off in beautiful Des Moines, Iowa. Don't forget about our Hoops Hysteria bracket. It's your chance to win some pretty cool prizes like a 65-inch LED smart TV or up to $1 million. It's simple to play. Just sign up on WKYT.com. The Kentucky women have the ultimate home court advantage for as long as the Cats stay alive through the regionals. UK will play UNC Asheville in Memorial Coliseum, and then it's possibly on to Rupp Arena for the regionals. For senior Janae Thompson, it's wonderful to keep playing in Lexington.
It is, because after senior night, you know, you can't predict where you'll end up. I wasn't sure if I would have another game in Memorial, so that's really exciting for me. And I just want to go out there and play my hardest.
It's all home games for us. As long as we handle business and get the job done, I feel like as we will, and prepare really hard, that we'll be fine.
So the opener will be Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock on ESPN2 for the Wildcats and the Lady Bulldogs of UNC Asheville. That's sports. We'll be right back.